Greetings and welcome to Pinball Help. Mike here. Today we are doing a pinball showcase on the 2008 Stern NBA pinball machine. I'm pretty excited about this game because I hadn't had a chance to play it very much historically, and I've done some research and I've learned a lot about this game, and it's really a fun, interesting, amazing little game, and I'm going to go over the details, the rule set, all that with you. First off, this game was made in 2008. This was kind of like back when Stern was kind of just the only game in town making pinball machines. And this was kind of a bad time when the 2008 recession hit, and they, from what I heard, had to close down the factory, and there wasn't a whole lot of activity going on. And this game is a very low production game that apparently not a whole lot of them were made because it was just economically, it wasn't a good time. This may have been a game that they kind of just decided to do based on parts and things that they had around, because it definitely has a lot of less bells and whistles than in other games that they were making. But it is a great game. It's a really fun game, and I'm going to go over all the rules and everything. First off, the design credit. This is one of the few games where Gary Stern actually has been credited with helping design a pinball machine. I believe John Borg and Ray Tanzer are also credited as designers, but John Borg may be the principal designer on this, and I think he was pretty much the only guy on board at that time, from what I've heard. They actually kind of shut the factory down at some point, is what I've heard. Have to get some more confirmation on that. But there's all kinds of rumors about, you know, what was going on during the recession with all kinds of businesses, not just Stern. But rumor has it, this is a very, very low production game. It was sandwiched in between two other well-known low production games, 24 and CSI. And both of those games are, nobody knows the exact number, but in the Internet Pinball Serial Number Database, which tracks known games, 24 and CSI, there's only about 20 to 22 known examples in their database. When you get to Stern NBA, there's only 10. So it's half as well known as other games that are known to be very low production. So by some accounts, people estimate there may have only been about 300 of these games made. Other estimations, it might be in the 500 range. But also, there was probably 100 or 200 of them that were sent to China in a slightly different configuration with less features. So we don't really know, but what we do know is that this is a rare game. There's very few of them that show up, and a lot of people have not had a chance to play this game. So we're going to play it, and I'm going to go over the whole rule set with you and explain what's interesting and kind of cool about this game. So first off, this is a Stern SAM system. I believe it's the later iteration from White Star, which is a previous version of their hardware. It's a very robust, pretty good, reliable set of game architecture here. And this particular game was basically has been operated and routed its whole life. When I picked it up, it was in the back office of a laser tag place, and it was all beat up and not working, and they lost their lease, so they needed to move everything out. So they knew I was the pinball guy. They called me. I made a deal. We got the game. I've got a whole series of videos where I have gone over all the different things. And one of the things I noticed when I get a game that comes off route, that's when you really realize how well made the game is, how well designed it is, because you get to see what breaks down, what's been hacked, whatever. This game probably was super duper reliable. There was a bunch of stuff broken on the game, but they were parts that just literally wore out. They were not parts that, due to a design flaw, just broke prematurely. Mostly, it was flipper plunger links, it was springs that broke, it was yokes on pop bumpers. So it was things that just worked so well for so long, they finally just gave up. So I'm kind of impressed with this design from that perspective. This is a game you could probably throw on location and it'll just run and run and run as long as you just provide the minimum maintenance. And you'll see there's no major wear on the playfield. The quality of the wood, the quality of the clear coat has definitely held up. This game has had a ton of games put on it, and it cleaned up pretty nicely. Now, I pulled all the incandescent bulbs and I put LEDs in there, a combination of warm and cool white. So it's a little, it goes just ever so slightly, but it's a great game. It looks really fun. It pops. It looks even better than it did when it was originally made. So let's go over the rule set and the configuration of this game. So basically, this is a simple design. You only have 2 flippers in the game. There's 4 balls in here, so you have up to a 4-ball multi-ball. There's 1 captive ball. The layout is relatively straightforward. You have a fan-style layout with 7 shots coming across, 8 shots basically. You have your standard orbits and your ramps and your other stuff. You have the standard bottom, which is what we call an Italian bottom, where you've got out lanes and in lanes and slingshots and flippers. It's a very common kind of bottom part of a pinball machine. And then you have stand-up targets. You've got 4 on one side, 3 on the other. Although it's interesting, these 4 spell ALL, 3 letters. These 3 spell a 4-letter star, so I guess they just didn't have room to properly line them up with the letters. Let's go over the different configurations before we go into the rule set. We have left and right out lanes. They're called the fast break out lanes. Then we have a captive ball, which is the rebound shot. Then we have the left ramp, which is the 3-point shot. Then we have a shot right up the middle where we've got 3 drop targets, 3 pop bumpers, and there's a stand-up target up there called the superstar target. Just to the right of that, we have a hole that's got a kick out. That is your free throw hole. That's one of the 3 shots, which I'll explain. And then right to the right of that, you have another narrow lane up to another kick-out hole, and that is the NBA shot right there. Then to the right of that is your right ramp and your right orbit. So the game has 3 shots which are called point shots, which correspond to scoring basketball points. So there's 2 ways to score in this game. You score regular pinball points where every shot gives you X number of points. You also score basketball points in a game with a 1-point, 2-point, or 3-point shot. So your 1-point shot is this middle kick-out hole, your 2-point shot is this right ramp, and your 3-point shot is the left ramp. There's some very cool and interesting mechanisms there. When you shoot this center free throw shot, a vertical up kicker kicks the ball into the air against that backdrop. There's a magnet in that backdrop. It grabs the ball, freezes it, and drops it through the basket. It's a simple mechanism, but it is very reliable, and it is very fun to watch. It's just really, really cool. And it has never failed. That shot is rock solid. It's pretty amazing that making the ball fly through the air so consistently after so many years, and it still works exactly the way you would think. The right ramp shot, the 2-point shot, similarly has a little ramp. It can loop all the way around to the right in lane, but there's a ramp there that's triggered by a vertical up kicker, which will divert the ball into the air, which will hit that backdrop. The magnet grabs it, and it will stick up there too. So you can make a basket making this right ramp, and that works quite often as well. And then you also have this left ramp shot where it kicks the ball up into the air, and ideally it's going to hit the back box too, although oftentimes it bounces off or comes back down, but you still get credit for the shot. Maybe that could be tweaked a little bit, but everything basically works like you would think. It's pretty neat. All 3 of those shots, I ultimately can put the ball through that basket, which is very, very neat. Other features on the playfield, you have your all-star stand-up targets, and I'll explain what those do, but obviously when you hit the stand-ups here, you light all and star. These qualify what are called the all-star modes in the middle. You have your in lanes and out lanes have the letters H-O-O-P, hoop. That controls your bonus multiplier. So every time you light hoop, it's 2x, 3x, 4x. That's the end of ball bonus, which I will go into because the end of ball bonus here is probably one of the most interesting features of this game. Then you have your orbits and your other shots. So let's go over the basic scoring features of the game. Um, as I said, you have the, let's start with, say, the pop bumpers. Pop bumpers are worth a certain value, I think about 3,000 per pop bumper, but every time you hit the rebound shot, it increases the value, 4,000, 5,000. If you get enough shots on the pop bumpers, it lights a hurry up award on the rebound. That's called the rebound award. You will notice we have two skill trees here. We have the center set of lights. These are the all-star challenges, and we have these vertical rings here, the ring challenges. So there's different things that turn on these modes, and when you rack them all up, obviously it brings you further into the game. So hitting doing the rebound will light the rebound ring, and when you light all of these 6 modes, it qualifies for NBA Finals, which is the final wizard mode. Let's talk, before we get into the individual modes, let me go over some of the main mechanisms in the game. So as I said, there's 2 ways to score. Everything scores points, but also you score basketball points like you're in a game by making the 1, 2, and 3-point shots. The more of those shots that you make, the more points you get, and you get awards when you reach certain milestones. When you reach, I think, 10 points, you get a certain bonus awarded. When you reach 50 points, you get extra ball. When you reach 100 points, it lights the special. That's these things where you can collect them. So you have that tree right there just by scoring points in the game. Now, points in the game also translate to points on the score as well at the end of ball bonus. It's like 2,500 for every point that you scored. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 points all start adding up. What's really cool, and I'm going to get into later, is that the bonus carries over from ball to ball to ball. So however many points you score, it's like an entire game. It'll carry on. If you score 10 points on ball 1, that'll be 25,000 added to your bonus. That 25,000 gets carried over plus any other points you score for the ball 2 and ball 3. So this is one of these games where the end of ball bonus can be huge. It can be a major game winner, and the better you play the earlier in the game, the bigger your score. And so that's kind of an overriding thing. Another feature on the Playfield are these MVP, these drop targets here in the middle. Whenever you drop those, it enables MVP mode. That's your Playfield multiplier. It lasts for 20 seconds, and once you hit it, you hear the game go MVP, MVP. It'll do that for 20 seconds. During that time, everything that's going on is 2x scoring. If you hit MVP subsequent times, it doesn't increase the bonus multiplier. It's always 2x, but it will reset the clock. It doesn't add time, it just resets the clock back to 20 seconds. Some stuff will stack on this game too. So the MVP stacks with whatever else is going on, things like that. So we've gone over rebound. Let's do the NBA modes first. So the NBA, the ring modes correspond to certain objectives that you do in the game. They're usually hitting certain shots at a certain number of times to qualify and or complete them. So we explained what rebound was. You hit enough pop bumper hits, and then it lights the rebound, and you hit it, you collect that. Fast break is by hitting the orbit shots. If you complete enough orbits, it goes into fast break mode, which lights the orbits where you score more points on that, and then you get the fast break thing. On fire is shooting the right ramp multiple times in a row to light fire. Once you do that, 3 shots will light, and whichever shot you hit, that'll be the shot you need to make over and over for extra points. Kind of like the CDC shot in The Walking Dead. Similar situation. You qualify the mode, pick your shot, keep hitting that shot, score more points. Let's see. Superstar mode is, I believe, lit. I'm trying to remember Superstar. Let me do triple double first. Triple double is a combination where you do any combination right after each other of the 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point shot. So if you make the 1 point shot and then you make the 2 point shot, there's a diverter up here, and it knows that the 3 point shot would be ideal. It'll send you over here. This diverter can send the ball left or right depending upon where you may need it in the game. It's kind of intelligent like that. But if you do a triple combo shot using any of the 1, 2, or 3-point shots, you will get the triple double. I think you can't do all 3 of the same shots. You at least have to break them up. But if you do, 2-point, 3-point, 2-point, you might get it, or 1-point, 2-point, 3-point, you'll get that, and that qualifies, and you get some kind of award for that. All-Star and Superstar, they relate to, I think, the Superstar modes. I'll have to add more because I don't exactly remember exactly, but they're slight variations. Let's get to the All-Star modes, right? So these are qualified by hitting the stand-up targets on the left or the right side. And you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different modes: 3-point shootout, slam dunk, skills challenge, horse, mystery, and shooting stars. 2 of those modes are multi-ball modes. One of them is a 4-ball multi-ball. I believe that is shooting stars. And slam dunk, I think, is the 2-ball multi-ball. All of these modes are very similar. You hit the All-Star targets X number of times, and then the All-Star light will light. You shoot the center drop hole, it starts the mode. These modes are all timed modes, and each one does something slightly different, but it's kind of similar to, hit these shots. Slam dunk does one thing. A 3-point shootout, you want to hit the 1, 2, and 3-point shots. Mystery will give you a random award. Skills challenge is a floating shot that moves sequentially, so you have to hit one shot, then you have to hit the other. Horse is a shot where you have 3 shots lit. One of them is blinking. You could score the most points by shooting the non-blinking shots before you hit the blinking shots. Every time you hit a blinking shot, you spell a letter in horse, and when you hit all the letters or it times out, the mode ends. Obviously doing very well, you light all these things and you work your way towards the NBA Finals. And that basically is the main layout of the game. Let me talk about the bonus, because the bonus gives you, it carries over from ball to ball, but it's not simply how many points you scored in the game. There are certain Playfield features that every time you hit, they count as something like blocks or rebounds, stuff like that. So every time you do an orbit, that adds to a bonus counter. Every time you hit the superstar target, that adds to a bonus called blocks or whatever. Every time you hit the MVP drop targets, that counts, and that all carries over. So doing your bonus multiplier on these in lanes and out lanes is very, very lucrative, and doing early in the game will actually help you score big later. So everything kind of carries over. It's a fun game where doing well early on makes all the difference. So shall we fire up a game and see how we do? Let's do that.
Hi everybody, Tim Kitcher with you here for NBA Pinball. Tickets for this game went quickly. A lot of folks looking forward
so you
to
get to
this
pick
rematch for
which
quite a while
team
now.
you want. You can use the flippers and pick the game, pick the thing. And then this is from 2008, so you may or may not be familiar with the players during this time. So and then this game does not have a skill shot.
You selected the Utah Jazz. For 3, boom, shakalaka.
So I made the 3-point shot. Ball saves kicked in.
NBA multi-ball.
So NBA multi-ball is pretty easy on the default settings. I only needed to hit it once, and I drained the ball.
This one as it bounces out of bounds.
So I had the Playfield multiplier going, and then the ball drained. But you see, I've got NBA multi-ball lit. On the default setting, it's pretty easy to hit the multi-ball initially. You just keep firing this like the NBA letters, and then you shoot that. That gives you a 4-ball multi-ball. Standard multi-ball setup where the jackpot shots are lit, and you put them all out, and then you get a super jackpot, which is right up the center.
Tonight's matchup features the Indiana Pacers.
Looks like I got to hit NBA again to qualify.
Complete the drops for MVP scoring.
All right.
There's a backflip by Foster.
Oh, there's also a spinning disc in the middle, which I neglected to mention, which is quite
Eject for NBA multi-ball.
cool, and it really does add a lot of random elements. All right, let's go for that 3-point shot. Missed it.
Done, lady?
So I hit the MVP again, and it just reset the thing. That center target can be hard to hit. There we go. Now watch this shot. That's so cool. There's our outlane. Another 3. There's my bonus. So let's try to get the multi-ball going. There it is.
It's time for NBA multi-ball.
So this is our 4-ball multi-ball. This is the main multi-ball in the game.
Oh my! He just jumped that one hard on the big man. On ahead to the open man.
So I need that right ramp. There it is. Oh! Alright. That was close. So, we could do their 1-point or 2-point shots. Let's see. 3-point shot. 2-point shot. Now, let's go for that triple-double. And we missed it. One more shot for fire. Missed it.
They push it up the court in a hurry.
You can really backhand a lot of shots in this game, which is pretty cool. So now fast break is lit. Here's our.
Oh, nice strong textbook fast break. We are now set for the All-Star Skills competition.
All right, so now we've got All-Stars stacked on top of fast break. So these outlanes are going to be worth more too. So this is our other multi-ball mode. So fast break, still getting counted for fast break. Alright. Alright, that disc really does add a lot of randomness to it. Ah! So I had the multiplier going during that, which was kind of lucrative.
Really huffing and puffing out there as he runs up the court.
Right.
He may need a rest. And the crowd is on their feet chanting MVP.
So about 20 million points will get you a game on this on the default settings. So that is not too bad for ball one. Oh, I've got a 2-player game going, I guess. Huh.
NBA multi-ball.
All right. So that's why I had to hit another shot to do this. Let's do a 2-player game.
Oh, he just jumped right over the big man. Dribble drive to the ball. One over the top of everyone. A spectacular dunk.
Oh, down the middle.
Makes the first one. That free throw is good.
Oh! I was robbed. That was just stupid.
Kirilenko.
I'm thrown off by this 2-player game. I didn't mean to do that.
MVP.
So I got the Playfield multiplier going again. And then again.
Yelling MVP. He'll take this one in himself. Good for 2. They got numbers.
8K for the.
Firing. Lays it in. The ball is pushed down ahead. The free throw on the way. That free throw is good.
Such a cool shot. that.
Williams, and that's a hard foul. And they've got a 3-on-1 fast break.
There we go. Fires qualified. So now I set the right ramp shot. Oh, missed it.
From behind the strike, he's working out 3 in a row.
There it is.
Firing off the screen. That's a 2. He's lighting up the floor.
There it is again.
Boom! You gotta feed the hot hand in this guy.
Oh, choked. So extra balls lit because of the scoring.
Firing off the screen. Look it. This guy is red hot now.
Give me one more.
There's a whistle on the play. A bit too much contact there. Both officials were right on top of that.
All right. So another all-star mode is lit. Let's see if we can qualify that.
Carlos Boozer.
That's a very brickable shot. You can backhand it. Ooh, look at that disc. Does that make the ball go weird or what? There we go.
It's time for the skills challenge. In order to be great in the NBA, you need a special set.
So this will be a shot floating around that we want to hit. And you see how the diverter sent it to the right flipper. And this could be backhanded. Oh, brick. So it'll probably send it to the right flipper. There it is. Oh, that was just a screw up. But you can see the game is relatively simple, but this is a great game to practice ball control. If you're rusty and you want to work on all your basic pinball skills, this is a really good game where you could probably do quite well.
Extra ball is lit. And you can hear the crowd yelling MVP from behind the strike, and he hit it. Jeff Foster maybe trying to do too much right now.
All right, let's go for that extra ball. Yes.
Extra ball. Lifts the jumper.
Yes, fire mode again. This one. Set. There's our fire mode.
And he is just heating up.
Oh, come on.
Dunleavy with the hesitation move.
Can I backhand this? Let's see. I can. Nice.
Coach is yelling at them from the sideline.
So during these modes, the all-star targets will also increase the value of some of the shots.
We could be watching history right now.
Look at that, look at that.
On the way, it goes down. This guy is burning up the net right now. Another fast break opportunity here.
All right. Boom! Gotta love that shot. It's just so fun.
And the ball is deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, ball control really does matter. You can't, if you're just flipping the ball around, you really won't do as well. So,
shoot again.
Let's do this. Let's get a game. Let's at least win a game on this.
And that's going to be another foul. These guys are really not giving an inch defensively.
What should we go for? See, it kind of is a little bit not sure.
Ready for an all-star weekend. Foster pulls the trigger for 3.
Oh, whoa, 75 points. So here you'll see the bonus and see how lucrative that can be. So no, I didn't have a multiplier going. All right, I'm going to, is this ball 3? I don't think it is. So I'm gonna drain this so that I can just focus on that one last game. All right, so I'm gonna let that go and get to my 18 million And let's see if we can pop a game on that on player 2 game. All right, we're gonna do this.
A 2-on-1. Mike Dunleavy.
Oh! Oh! I was robbed! I was robbed! I'm probably not gonna get it. Oh, so close!
Let's see if we've got a match.
Oh. So it started at 20 million, but I've been playing a little bit, so it's probably like 22 million.
Indiana
Pops a
Pacers
game now.
have to be happy about the way they played tonight, especially down the stretch.
You see how that disc makes the ball just completely crazy. There's a element of unpredictability there that is kind of reminiscent of basketball. You think you're going in and somebody just comes out of the middle of nowhere and grabs that ball from you. It is like that. It's a very fun game. I cannot recommend this highly enough. We're going to get a lot of mileage out of this in our club. And I'm looking forward to putting it out for everybody to enjoy and seeing how people like it. And I hope if you get a chance to see this game on location, you will seek it out and you will come to appreciate it like I do. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to visit PinballHelp.com and subscribe at YouTube/PinballHelp. And until next time, thanks for watching.